Libra, what it do? This is your extended reading for June 2022, okay? June 2022 extended. I'm taking your June reading and squeezing the last few drops of information out of it that I can possibly get. If you'd like to find the information on how to schedule a personal reading, though, please look in the description box of this video, okay? So we're starting off with the situation troubling you the most, and we're looking at the past, okay? What was this person's energy in the past? Their true intentions in the past. What was the past energy and intentions of the person weighing heaviest on Libra's mind? What was their past energy and intentions? The Four of Swords. It's kind of weird. Why the Four of Swords? That may be your energy, but I just say that because this little Libra sign up there. Six of Wands. Oh. Uh-oh. You know what? This is going to sound like real specific. I'm going to try to see if I can spin another message out of this, but I'm going to tell you just what hit me right off the bat. They were using you to make somebody else jealous. That's the very first message that hit me right here off the bat. Look, they were using you to make a past person jealous. Now, was this something that just recently happened? I don't know. Yeah, there's a third energy in there. There's a third energy. Could be a Capricorn for some of you. I don't know. I'm not digging that, dude. Let me see if I can get a couple of clarifiers here. Because like I said, I'm mainly looking for when you all first connected, but it doesn't have to be. If it was something that was like really long term, it could just be whenever the problem started. Let me see if I can get a couple of clarifiers. Maybe spin a different story out of this here. Judgment. Three of Swords in the reverse. 10 of Wands. Well, I'll tell you one thing that I'm not seeing. A mutual shared emotional connection. Five of Cups in the reverse. They were getting over something that happened to them in the past. And I think they were trying to make somebody jealous. Thank you for that super chat, Fiorella. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Ace of Cups. So they did end up catching feelings for you. They did, but I don't think that was their true intentions when you all very first linked up. I don't think that it was. Well, let's see their current intentions now. Let's see this person's current energy and intentions. Current energy and intentions of the person weighing heaviest on Libra's mind. Page of Pentacles. So they've been trying to get your attention. I do think they want to talk to you. I feel like they have been doing some sort of something to try to get your attention. Like maybe posting things directed towards you, you know, maybe keeping in close contact with somebody that they know is close to you. You know, you might see a little like on your picture every now and then, little shit like that, you know, little pokes and little nudges to see if they can get you to react or respond. Queen of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so they are moving on from this, but they're at a crossroads in their life. They're not really sure which direction to go. When it comes to you, this person is very heavily guarded. They are very guarded. So it's like they're moving on, but they're still looking back. That make any sense? They're moving on, but they're looking over their shoulder, wondering if you're ever going to come chasing after them. Knight of Swords reverse. So I don't see them planning to reach out and communicate. Maybe they don't even have anything to say. They miss you, though. They do miss the good old days. They are thinking back on when the times were good and whatnot. And I feel like they're missing that. They are. Okay. Now let's see if they're going to take any actions. Will this person be taking any actions towards Libra? Will any actions be taken? Six of Pentacles reversed. Doesn't look very action-packed. Three of Swords. Now, I kind of feel like this person's starting new. They're starting new, but trust me, they're staring into the rearview mirror. Okay, they're moving on, moving forward, still looking in the rearview mirror, hoping to see you chasing after them. Tower card reversed. Okay, what's the outcome here? They may attempt a reconciliation after a certain amount of time passes. They might. Ace of Cups reversed. So I don't see a new start in love between the two of you. Five of Wands. So it might just end up popping off. Yeah. I feel like for some of you, this person may, after a certain period of time passes, this is for the rest of the summer, by the way. After a certain period of time passes, they may go ahead and start amping up those little attempts to get you to respond and react, you know? They may start picking that up and getting a little bit heavier with it. And it looks to me like it could possibly pop off into a fight between the two of you. It could end up being some drama. Yeah, see, you're guarded, they're guarded. 10 of Pentacles reversed. What's the best advice? Best advice. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, Five of Pentacles reversed. So if they do ever decide to break the silence, don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. If they decide to break the silence, just keep a level head. Okay? Make it very short, sweet, and simple. But just, I almost want to say keep them at an arm's distance, but it's not really at an arm's distance, but just set boundaries. You need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries big time with this person. Big time, big time, big time. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Set boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Okay. So I really feel like this person has a very strong tendency to want to push your buttons and get a certain reaction out of you. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. You need to be the one in control. You need to be the one who calls the shots. You know, even if you do decide to open up communication with them, you don't need to bend over backwards for this person. Set some boundaries. I'm telling you, boundaries. All right, let's look at general career and finance. General career and finance. If you're not experiencing any issues generally or with your career and finance, this is not for you. Boom, Three of Wands reversed. Okay. Some of you all are worried. Like some of y'all are really, really fantasizing about some worst case scenarios. I see some of y'all really, really tripping about worrying whether or not you're going to lose your job or whether or not you're going to lose your home and end up on the streets. I see some of y'all actually sitting around feeding energy to the timeline of you losing everything. And like you're breathing in abnormally like unhealthy amount of energy into that timeline. But you are in the middle of a transition. Okay. The bad news is, I mean, it's not really bad news. It's just kind of frustrating news. This is a slow transition. Okay. See, we humans have this bad habit where if we can't knock on it, walk on it, taste it, smell it, touch it, or spit on it, then we don't believe it, you know? So if we can't see any evidence, we don't believe that anything is happening. I'm going to tell you what, the level of perfect that everything has to be just to bring you what you want has to be on point. Every flutter of a butterfly wing has to happen perfectly. Every plane that flies across the sky, every car on the road, every step that every person takes has to happen perfectly. Every single thing has to happen. I mean, it would blow your mind. It's just way too much information for the human brain to take in. And all that has to happen perfectly to line everything up so that you are a frequency match to enter into the next cycle. Okay? All that has to happen. What's happening right now is you feel your energy being destabilized, but you don't have a sense of foresight. So the ego's freaking out. This is what the ego always does. The ego loves to be in control. Okay? The ego, analytical, critical thinking brain thinks that it needs to figure out how to make the whole thing happen. And it loves a sense of foresight. It likes to feel like it knows what's coming and it is in control, navigating the steps that it takes to avoid any obstacles, and things like that. And when the ego doesn't have a sense of foresight, what does it always default to? When the ego analytical thinking brain has no sense of foresight, it almost always defaults to the worst case scenario. Now, it's not a guaranteed deal breaker, but we really want to catch ourselves when we are feeding energy to that timeline. Okay? Because it's not that it's impossible. It is possible to manifest what you're worried about. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. It depends on how much energy you pump into that timeline. We all do it. We're all humans. Okay? None of us are glowing and floating on a cloud. However, catching yourself and saying, oops, error thought. I need to stop using my imagination so destructively. I need to start using my imagination constructively. I need to spend time imagining what I do want, not what I don't want. We'll see if anything else wants to come through here. But you are in the middle of a transition. You are. And I think you feel that. And the ego is just freaking out a little bit, because it doesn't know what's happening. It doesn't know how, when, where, why. So when it feels like it's not in control, it just assumes the worst case scenario. See? Some of y'all are losing your faith and trust in the universe. So I think a lot of you, the universe has you on a path by yourself right now for a reason, for a very specific reason. You are coming up to a crossroads. You're coming up to a crossroads. I feel like what's happening at this crossroads is you're going to be faced with a decision. You're going to be faced with a decision to let go of somebody in your life. And that will determine whether or not you ascend up to the next frequency. Okay? See, everything that is in your life, everything that is in your life, from the house you live in to the car you drive, the money that you make, the connections that you share with your friends and family, every little facet that makes up your reality is an extension of your frequency. As you are moving into a new frequency, everything and everyone that's not moving into that frequency has to be pulled away from you. Okay? Are you with me? One of the biggest things that I see that keeps people locked in place is that as soon as they start feeling that separation happen, they grab onto the person and cling to them. And that's like tying a hot air balloon to a sandbag. You ain't going nowhere. You're staying on that frequency. If you're staying on that frequency, that means nothing around you is changing. So I feel like there is somebody kind of close to you in your life, and you're going to be faced with a decision to let go of this person. It may feel a little bit lonely, a little bit scary, but I kind of feel like if you do choose to stay, like clung to this person, it's going to keep pulling you further and further down. Whoever this is, I don't know who it is. Some of the major arcana I have is Capricorn, Taurus, and Pisces. If that rings a bell, cool. If not, don't worry about it. Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. What's the best general or manifestation advice? Oh, I'm telling you right now. Okay. So there's two things that every human on this planet needs to learn. And if everybody woke up tomorrow and learned these two things, the whole game would fall apart. Are you ready? When the universe says go, and when the universe says no. When the universe says go, and when the universe says no. Those two things. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you. Where do we, because this is a dualistic dimension. Okay. So everything that we do requires work and effort. Learning how and where to draw the line between putting forth work and effort and forcing and fighting a losing battle. That is where your ability to develop a relationship with the universe rests. Okay. Because it seems like most people are either on one end or the other end of that extreme spectrum. You know, people are either a feather in the fucking wind with no sense of direction, or they're like a fish swimming upstream, stuck in one spot, not moving, just working and working and working themselves into a trap. Okay. We need to move into the middle and learn how to go with the flow until you see a big ass rock. Then you fight against the current and then go with the flow. Maybe you see the canal split off and you want to go that way. Then you fight against the current and then go with the flow. People say only dead fish go with the flow. That's not fucking true. You know, every person I've ever heard say that, you know what kind of fish they are? That dumbass fish swimming upstream, not making any progress, stuck in one fucking spot. Stuck in one spot, just swimming away, not going nowhere. Not going nowhere. They're fighting against the flow. They're fighting against the universe. Where do I draw that line? How much effort is too much before I'm fighting against what the universe is trying to do for me? Does that make sense? Okie dokie. I feel like those were the messages that my Libra friends needed to hear tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and end this reading here. Thank you all so much for tuning in and playing along. I greatly appreciate all the love and the support and the positive feedback you guys show me every single time I get on here and do this. It makes my job worthwhile here on YouTube, y'all. I greatly appreciate you. Don't forget to look in the description of this video if you would like to find information on how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm out of here now, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Y'all stay blessed.